I've previously talked about the benefits and what to include in a session 0 at the start of a campaign, but what if you've already started or you have a long-running campaign that's strayed and is no longer enjoyable for everyone at the table? That's where the mid-campaign session 0 or check-in comes in handy. I'm a big fan of having regular informal check-ins during my campaigns. As a game master, it lets me see where the players would like the story to go, and as both a game master and player, it's a great opportunity to give and receive feedback. But having something more like a session 0 or a check-in session can be very beneficial. Before I get too much further, if you're new here, hi, I'm Dawn. This is Roll for Initiative. We talk about tabletop RPGs and our other geeky interests, so hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. First of all, when should you do a check-in kind of mid-campaign session 0? A very natural place is just at the end of a story arc. You can also have it after an issue has come up or if you're feeling a lot of tension at the table. If possible, it's great to be proactive so you can kind of prevent any issues, but issues do happen, and maybe it's now just time to check in and kind of refocus where the campaign and the group is going. Also, if there are new people joining, introduce them to the game and make sure that everybody is on the same page. No matter when it is that you have it, I think it is good to give your players a heads up that this conversation is going to happen and let them know what it is you're going to be asking. I'll get into some specifics in a moment, but this just lets them think things over rather than being put on the spot. And reinforce this is going to be an open and honest conversation. I've done a video talking about feedback. You can go check out that for some advice on how to ask and as well as take criticism. Additionally, I think this is a conversation that's best done in person with plenty of time. Don't try and have this conversation as people are rushing out the door to leave or before starting a game, as players may not be as patient if they're waiting for the action to start. Now, if you do have a group that's not going to be able to get together in person just for a session 0 check-in, you might try and do this at the end of a session that has a bit of a shorter game time. The reason I say not to have it at the beginning of a session is this allows for the players as well as you, the game master, time to process and implement feedback. Like if you decide you don't want to keep running this module, well, the game master is going to need some time to prep something new. And if you're implementing a new safety tool, I'll get into this later, like Lines and Veils or the Monty Cook document, you can check out some of my videos on those different systems. This is something you may want to send out ahead of time so people have time to fill that out privately and get it back to you, potentially confidentially, depending on your group. And then at that session, you can introduce those new safety tools to the table as a whole. So this is a good chance to check in on some more table management things, such as schedule and table expectations / etiquette. Is the schedule working for everyone? Has someone's schedule changed, or does it just need to shift to kind of accommodate real life? Is the game and the way the game is being run fitting to everyone's expectations? It's okay if things have changed and evolved from the start of the campaign, but is everyone happy, or are there expectations that could make it a bit of a better experience for everyone? That's kind of what this boils down to, is just kind of checking in, seeing if there are adjustments that can be made to just make it better for everyone. Before I get into specific questions to ask, I want to give a huge thanks to all of our patrons, especially Alicia. If you want to help support our channel, you can head on over to patreon.com/rollforinitiative and check out the perks of being a patron. Okay, so what should you ask your players or discuss during this check-in? How do you feel about the campaign as a whole? This is very broad, and ask this kind of in general. We'll get into some more specifics later. You may provide some kind of guide, like having everybody give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, or asking kind of on a scale of 1 to 10. This just kind of gives you as a game master a general idea of, is everyone happy, or is everyone kind of not feeling it? Next, is everyone happy with the balance of combat, roleplay, and exploration? Some players are definitely going to have a preference, and even if you've discussed it before the campaign start, they may have discovered their preference has shifted, or the game may have shifted to one purposely or accidentally, and so you as a game master can maybe adjust that balance a little bit more so everybody's happy. What is everyone's favorite and least favorite part of the campaign so far? This is helpful because it lets you as the game master know what the players enjoyed, and you may notice that there's a similarity or find that the table agrees, and then you can know to either have more or less of those moments in your game. What about your characters? Is everyone happy with their character? If you have new people joining, this is a great opportunity to build their character and then provide some connection to one or more of the existing party. And you may also have someone who wants to change something about their character or play a new character. There are a lot of reasons why. We've done some videos on that, as well as ways to handle introducing a new character. But this provides just a great opportunity to check in, like, if somebody's just not really feeling their character anymore, maybe there are adjustments that can be made, or just playing a new character, and that will reignite their love of this campaign. Is everyone happy with the setting and system? Is there something with the setting or system that's not working or that they want to see more or less of? For the setting, this is especially good to ask if you're running a homebrew, because it's a lot easier to adjust on the fly. And then for system, is there a rule that the majority of the table finds is a hurdle to enjoying the game? This is also a great opportunity to solidify house rules for things that came up during the course of the campaign that maybe you made a decision on the fly and want to go back and clarify if you're sticking with that decision or going with something else if it comes up again. I've even known tables that have decided to switch systems partway through a campaign because they loved the story, but just the mechanics were really becoming cumbersome or difficult to tell that story and enjoy the gameplay. What plot hooks are they most interested in? Get some feedback from your players on where they want to go next. That way you as the game master know where you are prepping the story and what they're interested in. You're not prepping something over here and finding out like, oh, everyone's actually really interested in following this plot hook first. Are the safety tools in place working for the table? Now, this is a question you may want to pose individually and or ahead of time. So if the answer is no, you can be ready to discuss alternative safety tools or speak privately with the person to find out why is it that they're not working. Is it that they aren't being used or boundaries aren't being respected, or are there things that came up that someone wasn't anticipating? You can also use this as an opportunity to just refresh everyone on the safety tools, how they work and kind of what they are. Because if everyone feels comfortable, you are all going to have a much better gaming experience. Everyone is consenting to the fun that you are having, even if it's dealing with really serious, really dark stuff. That can be very, very fun as long as everyone there is a level of comfort and communication that is there and open. So have you done a mid campaign session 0 or check-in? What is it that you like to cover and discuss? Let's continue this conversation down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, you can check out more of our Game Master Diaries. I'll put a link to those up there. Okay, I'll see you next time on Roll for Initiative. Bye! Doop, 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 doop. Too far.